War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Today's battle showcases beautiful thematic dice from Baron of Dice. Grab your own or get a custom set made at baronofdice.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. My name's Jordan. I am joined by Nils today.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. We've had Joe for Dame on the channel before, but it was playing 40k and it never hit the channel. So this will be the first time we're getting to introduce you on the channel.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But Nils, we've got a big game here today. Obviously, you're bringing out your Seraphon, and
Absolutely.
I'm playing Sylvaneth for the first time post Battle Scroll, and they've obviously had a lot of changes. So we're excited to see how they impact the army. But jumping into things, the mission we're playing today is the Jaws of Gallet. So we've got 5 objectives on the table. It's hold 1, hold 2, hold more for stories, 2 points for achieving each of those, and then 4 points around for your battle tactic. And then the twist for this one is the underdog each battle round will get to remove an objective after their turn. So potentially bait for denying or removing objectives obviously is hugely impactful. But that's the mission, Nils. So do you want to take us through your list?
I would love to, yes. So I absolutely love this army. I love dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs that ride other dinosaurs. So I brought a lot of them. I have the big toad, the Slan. He's going to be my general. He has to be my general. He's being guarded by a unit of 5 Temple Guard.
Source Guard.
Source Guard, thank you very much. They've changed the name. He's going to give the Slan a 5-up ward while he casts spells. He has one job, and that is to cast the Kronspire. I do not own any other manifestations, so we have the Kronspire instead. I'm very sorry, Internet. But rounding that off, we have my big hammer, which is the Kroxigor Warspawn, -1 rend against shooting, +1 damage if they're near a skink that's also in combat. They're going to hit really hard. And then we also have a giant 6-block unit of Agrodon Lancers. Same thing, they hit really hard, they move really fast. They are being commanded by a Scar veteran on Agrodon. Man, these names are tough. He's got the Beastmaster trait, so he gives all my cavalry and monsters +2 inches to charge if they're wholly within 12 at the start of the movement phase. This thing hits really hard, anti-rend against monsters. We have a unit of Raptidon Chargers, +1 damage on the charge, and they're really good for grabbing objectives. They punch well above their weight class. And then we have my baby over here, the Troglodon, something special. I'm calling him the Unkillable Trog. He's got a natural passive D3 regeneration at the end of every turn, and he has an ability, which I've given him, so at the start of every turn, he also heals another D3, 2D3 every turn. Hopefully, unless Jordan spikes big with one of his giant shooting units, which I'm very afraid of, he will be alive until the end of the battle round. Yeah, that's pretty much the list. Yeah. And then because I'm obscuring things hidden in ambush, we have a Hunters of Huanxi. They're going to deep strike and they're going to bonk people on the head. Everything they hit on a 3-up, they reduce the charge by 1. It's very, very good.
The charge, 1 less dice.
Yes, 1 less dice, yes, which is very different, yeah. So yeah, hopefully they'll be able to, in the shooting phase, just cause some havoc and really mess up your charges. Oh, and then my asterism. At the start of every game, I get to pick a special one, so we're going to go +2 inches of movement for my entire army.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
then for me, again, I'm playing Sylvaneth here. Just kind of sticking with a classic build. Shout outs to Fabian, who you know from the channel, but he's a Sylvaneth bro as well, and we were jamming and he recommended some ideas for the list. And it does start off with Balthanos here, and we've got 3 big units in his regiment because now that doesn't matter so much.
Fantastic.
So, first off is a unit of Stitched Turnout Hunters with bows. We then also have a unit of Stitched Turnout Hunters with scythes, and a unit of Stitched Spite Rider Lancers. So again, 3 big, powerful, reinforced units there that hopefully will be doing some damage. Then I have 2 other regiments. One is a Lone Branch Witch who will help buff the Turnout Hunters, hopefully, potentially letting them strike first on your turn if they get charged. Scary unit to go into. And then I've got a Warsaw Revenant leading another regiment. He has both my enhancements. One is Spell Senior for +1 to cast, and the other one is the ability to come back to life from his heroic trait on a 3-up with a couple wounds. And then I have a unit of 5 tree revenants to teleport around and grab objectives and all that fun stuff. And then I am running the manifestations from Sylvaneth because not only did the army get a bunch of buffs, but these specifically did, mostly actually in the scroll root tree, which now counts as a wildwood as it gets out there. So between that and some of the other changes, like being able to get wildwoods out easier in terms of like placing them on the board near terrain, and then also extending their range if you bring it down with multiple pieces, hopefully those changes kind of breathe new life into this army. That's my army, and then for drops, we were both 3 here with 3 regiments each. I won the roll-off to decide who goes first, and I'm going to give away first turn here, Nils, so we're going to allow you and to go first and jump into Seraphon turn 1.
Let's do it. Okay. We decided to be cheeky, so we're going to try and do take the flanks, which is I need to get 2 of my units that are going to be partially outside my territory within 6 inches of the short edge of the battlefield. Other than that, we're going to go into the hero phase. So we're starting off with the Slan. He's going to use his place of power on the temple. So I pick another terrain feature within 24 inches. Everything within 3 inches of that thing takes D3 mortal wounds. So I'm going to pick this terrain feature, and then so on the Spite Rider Lancers, they take nothing. They're safe. So moving into casting, we're going to start with the Slan, and he's going to do Celestial Equilibrium. That gives my other wizard, my Trog, a +1 to cast. No, it is on a 6, so that's, thank God, get rid of the bad rolls first. In that case, we'll go into the big one, and we'll try and... the Slan is going to use his once per turn ability, which is to cast through another unit. So he's going to cast through the Trog and cast Comet's Call and try and drop a big rock on these guys. So that's a 8.
So I'm going to be out of range on that one.
Cool. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Every 5 up is a mortal wound. They're going to take 2 mortal wounds. My Trog, I don't want to miscast, so he's just going to forgo spell casting this turn just to be safe. The last one we're going to do is the big one. So the Slan's going to try and cast the Kronspire. So I'm going to need a 7 on the dice. That is a 9. So that's the Kronspire. That's my hero phase reactions.
All right, well, I don't have a lot to do, but I am going to use Balthanos' ability to turn something into a wildwood, and we're going to do that to this big piece of terrain over there. So that's going to be a wildwood now. And then I will spend a command point to use magical intervention with my Warsong Revenant, and he's going to try and cast the scroll root tree thing.
I will use my Slan to try and unbind that, so do your thing.
And that's going to fail on a 6, +1, -1, so it doesn't go off.
Fair enough, okay. Going into movement. So that's movement, basically. So moving into charges, I need these guys to be within 6 for my battle tactic, so there shall be no charges.
Trudging through the swamps, just as their ancestors did through Lustria, the Seraphon established control of 2 threatened objectives, and will be relying on their tough hides and scaly skin to protect them from incoming attacks.
All right, moving into end of turn, I guess then. Scoring. So I have hold 1, hold 2, and I believe hold more.
Yep.
So that's, with my battle tactic, that's 10 points.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, okay. So it's, it might not be the best idea, but I'm trying to invite Jordan into my giant hammer. The plan is hopefully he forgets the countercharge exists, and I'm able to get these guys to go into them, so the Croxor will be in combat with another skink, give them a lot of damage, hopefully try and take out some strike first stuff. Kronspire's ready to do whatever the Kronspire does, and then we have these guys ready to just move in and just take over the whole western board.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I will actually sort of have one thing to do, and because I made this a wildwood at the end of the turn,
yes, please.
I get to heal my turn off.
Oh boy.
And they heal back to full.
Well, that's all right, we tried.
But yeah, that'll be it. So good starting turn, no action yet, but we'll jump into Sylvaneth, turn 1. Okay, so my battle tactic is going to be take their land, and I'm going to nominate this terrain piece, so I have to take that away from you. Should be able to do that with my teleporting tree revenants. Then I'm going to start off by trying to cast Tree Song with my Warsong Revenant.
Sounds good.
He'll get that off on a 10.
All right, I'll try and unbind it with a Slan. That is a 8, so go ahead.
And we're going to plop that there for now. Then my Branch Witch is going to try and banish the Kronspine. And that's only a 7, so I'm going to fail that. Then for my last spell, I'm going to try and cast the Vengeful Skullroot again. And that'll go off on a 12. And we're going to get that out over here. And that is going to be it for my hero phase.
I will spend a CP to magically intervene. So we're going to try and bonk these guys in the head with a Comet. So we're going to do the same thing. The Slan is going to cast through the Trog. So +1, -1, we need a 7. That's an 8.
Try to unbind that with the Warsong, who gets +1 to unbinding, and that's a 12.
There we go, no Comet for me.
And then with that, we'll just jump into movement. And I'm going to spend a command point here to use at the double with my Turnoff Hunters so they can run 6 inches and move 11.
Yep.
And then to finish off my movement, I'm going to walk the hidden pass with my Branch Witch to get her out of trouble. And that's going to be it for my movement. We'll jump into shooting then. I'm just going to have my Turnoff Hunters with bows. And they're going to put all their shots at the Incarnate. That'll just be 2 at rend 1.
Okay, 5-up save. Make 1, fail 1.
2 damage.
Ouch.
And then in the charge phase, Belthanos is going to use his Turnothi Warhorn to allow the Turnoth Hunters and the Spite Rider Lancers to run in charge. And we'll start off charging with the Lancers. They're going to get a 4, so that's enough.
They're in.
Then with the Turnoth Hunters for a 6. And that's going to be all my charges.
All right, so I'm going to spend 2 CP to countercharge the Kroxigor into your Kurnoth. That is a 9. Oh, that's a 10, excuse me.
You got it.
All right, they're going in.
And because you charged me in combat, the Kurnoth Hunters are actually going to get to do some impact mortals in reverse. So it's going to be 4 mortal wounds to the Kroxigor.
Okay, there's nothing I can do about that.
And then the Lancers on a 3-up are going to get to strike first this turn.
Yep.
They do. So I have to start off combat over there.
So I'm going to do my Scar Veteran Agrodon's once per battle Alpha Roar. Himself and these Lancers are going to get +1 to their rage score, so they get to do an additional attack for their companion attacks.
And I'm going to use all of attack here into the Agrodons.
Makes sense. I'm going to all out defense.
So it'll be 2s and 4s.
Yep.
This is the Riders. So 10 damage so far. And then the mounts on 3s and 3s.
Okay. 1.
And 6 for 2 damage each again.
Okay, that's 20 damage.
22.
22 damage, fantastic. They're 5 each, so you take out 4 of them and a little bit.
And then because that was a strike first attack, I'm going to get to activate next with another unit, and it's just going to be my Turnoth Hunters. We're going to pile in towards your Kroxigor and hit them.
I regret this decision immediately.
Okay, so the Kurnoth will be on 3s and 3s. That's going to be 9 at Ren 2.
On 6s. That is a single 6. Let me guess, 2 damage each?
Unfortunately 3, so 24 damage there.
I think you just wiped out the unit. There's 6 wounds each, so that's...
4 guys?
Yeah, 4 guys, yeah. You're really good at getting rid of my stuff, Jordan.
Going well so far.
Spent a lot of time paying this, man. What the hell? All right.
Hey, I was going to leave them alone.
And then I said I went looking for trouble. I was not a smart man. All right. I believe it's my activation now. Let's pile in with the Kroxigor and see what we can do.
All right, I will spend my last command point here for all out defense with the Kurnoth.
The Kroxigor only managed to deal 3 damage to the Kurnoth, though the Incarnate goes wild and deals 9 more wounds. Lastly, the 2 Agrodon Lancers attack the Spite Riders and manage to take one down. Taking the fight to the invaders of their glade, the Sylvaneth are forced to show both their aggressive, quick-strike capabilities as well as their stout defenses as they fight hard for every inch of land.
All right, so end of Sylvaneth, turn 1, and I'll take 3 objectives here. And at the end of the turn, I do get to heal both my units. They'll heal 1, these guys heal D3. So both back to full, or all the wounds out of the pool. I had a decision if I wanted to strike and fade this unit of Kurnoth, because that would have dropped me 2 points, which lets me be the underdog, burn an objective. But actually, I think with kind of the way things went, I was going to try and play to avoid the Croxador for a little bit and maybe burn that objective, but because they came in and it actually kind of went in my favor, I'm going to sit there on the objective for a little bit and hold strong.
Makes total sense, yep.
And as I said, yeah, we took a chunk out of the Croxador, showing that the Kurnoth with scythes, even if you're countercharging them, you still really don't want to charge them. I did some mortals and then obviously took out a few more. And while I am in there with the Kronspine 2, which that did a lot of damage, again, I think it's to my advantage for now, fingers crossed. And then the Spite Rider Lancers over here came and did their job, which they're anti-cavalry, so on the charge, they slapped those Saurus warriors.
Very hard, yeah.
Or the Edwardon Lancers around a little bit. So, yeah, can't do anything but be happy with that turn, although my shooting was a little lackluster, putting just 2 damage onto the Kronspine. But we can't complain, so solid turn 1, and we will store the full 10 points as well, so no underdog going into the next round, which means no one's burning any objectives.
Makes sense, yep.
But we can go into priority for round 2.
That's a 3.
That's a 3 as well. You win ties because you went first.
All right, beautiful. So let's go into Seraphon turn 2. I need to make up some points. So my battle tactic is going to be take their land. So I've got my lovely ambushers that are just going to drop onto the side of the corner and try and get a battle tactic for me. Hero phase stuff. So starting again with the Slann, we're going to try again for our Celestial Equilibrium. So that's +1 to cast for my other wizard. I need this on a 6, which a 5. It's the exact same roll as before. This Slann's greedy. My Troglodyte is going to try and cast Speed of Huanqi, so that's run and charge on the chargers here. I believe I need a 7. That is a 7. I need a 6, so that goes off, yeah.
I will try and unbind that with the Warsong Revenant.
Go for it.
Nope, you got it.
Okay, so that's a run and charge on them. That's really good. He's going to try and bonk those guys in the head with the Comet. So he needs a 6 on the dice. That is a 6 on the dice. That's a 7. That'll go off.
We will try to unbind that one as well, but we fail.
Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the unit. Every 5 up is a mortal wound. That is 1 mortal wound, sir. Ouch. He's got 1 more cast, so I might as well try and do Mystical Unforging. So that's going to reduce their rend by 1. And that'll go off with an 8.
Try to unbind it with my Branch Witch.
Yep.
And we don't.
Okay, all right. So the Slann is going to unleash the power of the temple, and he's going to choose this terrain piece, and it's going to hit Belthanos and the Kurnoth Hunters on a 3-up. So on the Hunters, they take nothing, and Belthanos takes also nothing. This is a dud. That's all my hero phase stuff. Moving into movement. Yeah, that's the end of my movement. So moving into shooting. So we're going to start with the Hunters of Huanqi. They're going to try and sling their stones into the Hunters with bows.
The Hunters manage to deal 2 damage to the Kurnoth. Then the Troglodon tries to assist, but fails to hit with its noxious spittle.
All right, I will spend a command point here and use Covering Fire with my Kurnoth with bows.
Absolutely.
They're going to have to shoot at your Oracle on Trog, and
Yep.
Let's see what we can do.
All right, I'm going to spend a command point for all out defense, because you can do that now.
Yep. That's going to be 4 at Rend 1.
Okay, so Rend 2, no? Because they get stuff against heroes.
Yes, 4 at Rend 2.
He's a hero. So 5-up save. Good rolls, but unfortunately, still 3 go through.
2 damage each.
Ouch, I got no ward save. Okay, so going into charge phase. So most of my stuff is pretty much already in combat, but we're going to try and see what we can do. We'll start with the Scar Veteran. who's going to go into the Spite Riders. We're going wherever he wants. So we're going to declare a charge with the Troglodon. With a 5-inch charge, he's probably not going anywhere. All right, we'll spend a command point for at the double to reroll that charge. Much better, boxcars. And then the Raptidon Chargers are going to go into the other Kurnoth Hunters. That's cocked. No, they're going to fail that charge with a double 1. At the start of combat, I don't believe I have any abilities.
All right, well, I've got a big one with the Branch Witch, trying to make the Kurnoth Hunters strike first on a 3-up. That's cocked.
Come on.
No, we fail it.
We're going to start with the Croxigor, and they're going to go into the Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes. And I will be using all-out attack for these guys.
And all-out defense.
Makes sense.
The Croxigor deal 8 damage to the Kurnoth when they attack. Then the Hunters fight immediately after, but only deal 6 damage to the Incarnate. The Scar Veteran on Agrodon fights next and finishes off a Spite Rider. Then the Kurnoth with bows deal 2 wounds to the Troglodon. The Incarnate is next and deals 3 damage to finish off another Kurnoth, while the Spite Riders deal 3 wounds to the Scar Vet. Lastly, the Troglodon attacks the Kurnoth, but only deals a single damage to the Hunters.
And then I've attacked with everything. Yes, we're good. At the end of my turn, the Trog is going to heal D3 for 3.
And then my stuff gets a heal as well. So the Lancers heal 1. The Kurnoth with bows heal 3 away.
Oh boy.
The Kurnoth with scythes are going to heal the 1 wound on them as well. And then I am going to use Strike and Fade on my Kurnoth Hunters with bows. It's going to give you the objective, which will store you hold more, but I think it's going to be better to have this unit able to shoot.
I agree.
Regaining their footing after a stumbling start to the battle, the Seraphon go on the offensive, attacking the tree spirits on all fronts as they try to hem them in and limit their mobility.
All right, so I will hold 1, 2, and more, plus my battle tactic, which gives me another 10.
Yes, sir. Good turn of scoring.
Absolutely. Decent turn, but I'm very afraid of the swingback. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, Raptidon Chargers not making it in was big, but you got greedy with the reroll on the Trog.
I did, exactly. I mean,
they only had a 3-inch charge.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, oh well.
Yep.
That's Warhammer.
Yes, sir, but yeah, with that, we'll jump into Sylvaneth turn 2. All right, so my battle tactic this turn is going to be attacked on 2 fronts, so I have to take 2 objectives, and one of them had to have been one you controlled. Then into the hero phase, my Warsong Revenant is going to try and banish the Incarnate, and I fail. And then my Branch Witch is going to try and cast Tree Song to summon a Wildwood. We'll get that off on a 9.
All right, let's try and bite it. That's definitely not going to work.
And we will plop another Wildwood down here. And then the Warsong Revenant is going to cast Wrathful Spirits on this Wildwood right here. And we'll get that off on an 11.
Let's see what we can do. That's yours.
So that's going to give me +1 rend near this Wildwood.
Oh boy.
And that is going to be it for my hero phase.
All right, so because of my incandescent retrices, my Trog will heal D3 for 2.
So at 8 wounds, now he's at 3.
I have a feeling he's about to be at a lot more.
And then let's jump into movement.
Don't forget you can get access to 4 extra battle reports every month by supporting the channel through our YouTube membership. Hit the join button below the video to learn more.
And that's going to be it for my movement phase here. So into shooting, we're to start off with the Kurnoth Hunters. They're to put all their shots into the Kron Spine. 3s and 3s. Right. That's going to be 4 at rend 1.
5s.
Takes 4 damage.
Ouch, I believe he's dead.
And then into charges, Belthano's going to use his Kurnothi Warhorn on himself and the Warsong Revenant. We'll start off with himself charging. He gets in there.
Yep.
And that's going to be it for my charges.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do a counter charge. So we're going to charge with the Raptidon Chargers with counter charge. They're only going 4, which means they're going to have to go into the Kurnoth Hunters.
And because you did charge them, my Kurnoth are going to get to do mortal wounds back on 3-ups for 2 mortals.
Ouch. And then, luckily my Troglodon has an ability as well. He's going to Noxious Roar, targeting all 3 of the units that are attacking him, and on a 3-up they get -1 to hit. So, starting with Belthanus. Nope. The Warsong Revenant. Nope. And then the Manifestation. That's -1 to hit, the one that doesn't matter. All right.
Then I'm going to start off combat with my Kurnoth Hunters, and because there's another threat there, they're actually going to put all their attacks into the Raptidon Chargers.
Makes sense, yep.
The Kurnoth Hunters deal 6 damage and take down 2 Raptidons. Then the Scarvet attacks and deals 4 wounds to the Spite Riders.
I'm going to fight next with Belthanos, and obviously into the Trog, and use all-out attack here.
Makes sense.
We'll start with the Glaive on 2s and 3s. For 3 damage each for 6 so far. Oof. And then the Mount is going to be on 3s and 2s. So that'll be 3 at Ren 2.
Okay. I'll go through.
3 damage each for a total of 15.
He is super dead. My activation next, we're going to go with the Kroxigor. So we're going to pile in and try and take out some Kurnoth. So because you are in combat with some skinks, they get really mad that you're trying to hurt their friends. So there's going to be 8 attacks.
And I will use all-out defense here.
The Kroxigor deals 7 damage and take down a Kurnoth. Then the Spite Rider Lancers attack the Scarvet, but leave him alive with 1 wound left. Finishing things off, the Raptidon Chargers take down the last Kurnoth Hunter, while the Branch Witch finishes 1 Raptidon off.
And then because my Wildwood over here has 3 woods with the new rules, it's a 12-inch range, and I'm going to teleport my Spite Rider Lancers away.
Makes total sense. Yeah, so we're also going to activate my sub-faction ability, the Sunclaw Starhost. So I'm going to pick my Kroxigor that's in combat with the Branch Wraith and do D3 damage for 3.
All right, so that's it for Sylvaneth turn 2, and it's been a bloody game here.
Yeah.
With the way things went, though, the biggest factor in my turn was actually not getting the Kronspine banished, because that would have just freed up all my shooting in combat. Like, I think, honestly, have a good chance to take out the center block of Chargers and Kroxigor, if not for that, because I had to divert my shooting. I only barely took it down, so I did need to put all my shots into the Kronspine, and I'm glad I did. And then, the Kurnoth could have gone in there, whatnot. Shoot at the Raptidons, different options, right? If I had taken it down in the hero phase, but that didn't go my way. So we are doing the best we can, and I unfortunately lost the Kurnoth with your counter charge. Again, it just brought in more units, despite me trying to take them down. Could have survived if not for that, but obviously a good play of bringing reinforcements into that combat.
Go figure.
And with the teleport from the Tree Revenants, and obviously coming back and taking down your Trog, we will take 2 objectives here to complete the battle tactic. And because my Branch Witch is still on this objective, I'm -3 to OC or objective control scores for units within 3 of my Sylvaneth stuff from my sub-faction. So I actually remain in control of the center objective, which does store me hold 1, hold 2, and hold more. So that'll be 10 points for the turn.
Okay.
And that'll see us go into priority for round 3.
That's a 1.
That's a 6.
All right.
I think it's time for us to take the turn and try to, now it's going to give you potentially some stuff to summon back, but let's try and take down a couple units here.
Okay, good luck.
Into Sylvaneth, turn 3. All right, so no battle tactic this round because I'm taking a double, and let's then jump into some spells. The Warsong Revenant's going to start by casting Wrathful Spirits onto this Wildwood here in the center, and that'll go off on an 11.
It does go off, that's a 10.
So that's going to give me +1 rend near this Wildwood. And then the Warsong Revenant is going to try and cast the Glade Worm, but that'll fail with a 6. And then the Branch Witch doesn't have much to cast, so she'll go for Dwellers Below through this Wildwood onto your Hunter Zahanshi. That'll go off on a 9.
That's a 10.
So Unbound. And that will be it for my hero phase.
All right, and I'm going to spend a CP for Magical Intervention, and I'm going to try and cast the Conspire again. +1, -1, I need to see an 8 on the dice. That's not going to do it.
Very thankful for that. So let's head into movement. And that's going to be it for my movement. So into shooting next, and we're going to start off with the Kurnoth Hunters. I'm going to split their shots. I'm going to put 2 into your hero on Agrodon, 2 into the Croxador, and 2 into the Raptidon Chargers.
Makes sense.
And we will use all-out attack here.
Splitting their shots, the Kurnoth take down the Scarvet and a single Raptidon.
And then in the charge phase, Belthanos is going to use his Kurnothi Warhorn to give the Lancers a run and charge. We'll start off the charging with them. Into a 6. And then Belthanos will charge himself for an 11. The Skull Root will get a 7. And that's going to be all the charges.
All right.
So at the start of combat, you are within 3 of my Wildwood. So into the Raptidon Charger, he will take D3 mortal wounds for 2.
He's got a single wound left.
And the Croxador will take 1. And let's see if the Spider Rider Lancers get to strike first. They do, so we're to start off combat there.
After the Agrodons use all-out defense, the Spite Rider Lancers deal just 6 damage and leave 1 Agrodon alive.
And then for normal activations, I'm going to go with Belthanos. He's going to use all-out attack, and I'm going to put the glaive all into the Croxador, and then half the mount attacks into the Raptidon.
Yep.
Boldly splitting his attacks, Belthanos fails to take down the Raptidon, but he does finish off the Croxigore. The Raptidon Charger then fails to deal any damage, as does the Vengeful Skullroot, the Agrodon Lancer, and the Hunters of Huanchi.
And then at the end of the turn, I'm going to spend a command point with Belthanos to power through. And he's going to do 2 mortal wounds to your Raptidon Charger.
Forcing their enemy solidly on their heels, the Sylvaneth cripple much of the Lizardmen forces, putting themselves in prime position to control the battlefield.
All right, so Sylvaneth, turn 3 here. It was not as impactful or, output-wise as devastating a turn as it could have been. Now, I killed 3 units with your hero and 2 other things, but everything was limping. We still have 1 charger left, but again, we cleaned up the board quite a bit. You could have taken down a couple things, had some more play, where now you're kind of just, in terms of scoring, going to start to get a little desperate with getting units back, and it's on a 4-up, so there's only a couple turns left. So
we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that's where we're at, and we'll jump into Seraphon turn 3.
That's good luck to me. All right, so I'm kind of starved for battle tactics, as Jordan was mentioning. I'm definitely being pushed to my limits. I think the only reasonable one that I can really do would be Slay the Tyrant, so I have to try and kill your Branch Wraith. So the Slann is going to start by summoning the Incarnate. No, that's 6, 7. Yeah, that goes with an 8. Yes, because it's +1.
We'll try to unbind that with the Warsong Revenant. It does get +1. For an 8, we tie it, you get it.
All right, so we want Wholly Within 12, outside of 9. And then the Slann is also going to call for Celestial Reinforcements on a 4-up. He's going to try and bring back the Croxigore. Yes, they're back. So he brings them back as a unit of 3. The Slann is going to unleash the power of the Temple, choosing this terrain piece going after Belthanos. D3 for 2.
He'll take 2 mortals.
So we're going to do the Slann's second spell, which is going to be Mystical Unforging on Belthanos. So I need a 6. We get that with a 9.
Try to unbind it. With a 10, we do.
Okay, absolutely. So Belthanos is at full ability. We're also going to do Comet's Call on Belthanos as well. So that's just on a 7. Get that just with a 7.
Last unbind with the Branch Witch.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, 1, hopefully it's a 5. Yeah, hey, he takes a mortal wound. So going into movement. All right, so we're literally not even gonna move, guys. So movement phase, that's over, we're done.
All right, well, I'm gonna do some moving. I just spent a command point with Belthanos to redeploy him.
Makes sense, yep.
And he's gonna move 4 inches.
Okay. All right, so starting with charges. So the Croxigore are gonna have to make a long bong charge. Baron of Dice, heed my call.
Opposite odds.
Opposite odds.
Reroll.
Yes, please. Dice. No, they're gonna fail that charge. We'll go the Incarnate NK just in case.
You did them in the wrong order.
I know. Well, that's all right. At least I get some petty vengeance. We're gonna start with the Agrodon Lancers first. Yeah, might as well all-out attack.
The Agrodon Lancer attacks and deals 4 wounds to the Spite Riders. Then the Branch Witch is swiftly taken down after she fails to do any damage to the Incarnate. Next, the Spite Riders retaliate and finish off the last Agrodon, while the Hunters of Hunachi and Vengeful Skullroot struggle against each other to little effect.
Yeah, that's my turn. Not the best of turn, but Jordan's been playing really well, so I've just been kind of hamstring the whole game. The Incarnate tries to do some cool things, but unfortunately does not count towards the battle tactic.
Yeah, because it's not a unit in your...
technically a unit. Yep, exactly. Which means that I'll just hold the 1, no battle tactics, so only, what is that, 4 points?
2 points.
2 points, great, even worse. Yeah, but we tried our best, and it's looking like this might be the end of the dinosaur era, but
yeah,
listen.
It's so unfortunate that the Kronstein rolled an 11 to charge, which is what you needed to get your battle tactic. You would have scored 8 points here and actually been in the lead
Would have
had
been great.
you made that.
It would have been fantastic, but oh well.
Yeah, but yeah, we didn't jump into priority.
Yep.
It's so 26-21 right now, going into priority for round 4.
That's a 6.
cocked.
Yeah.
That's a 1.
Okay.
Meant to be, so up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't really matter what I'm doing at this point, but I do definitely need battle tactics, and Jordan's forces are kind of in a good position to come to me, whereas I'm not in a good position to come to them, so I think I'm going to give away the turn.
Okay, let's jump into Sylvaneth, turn 4. All right, for my battle tactic, I'm going to go for take the flanks here, and should be achievable to get 2 units wholly outside of my, or partially outside of my territory and within 6 inches of the short edges of the battlefield. Then into my hero phase, the Warsong Revenant is going to try and cast Wrathful Spirits onto this Wildwood. He'll get that off on a 10.
He does get that off.
So that's going to give me a +1 to wound near this Wildwood again. And then he's going to try to cast the Glade Worm, which he'll get on an 8.
You get that. That's an 8.
All right, that's the end of my hero phase, so into movement.
Yep.
And then my Kurnoth Hunters are going to travel the Spirit Paths to pop over near this Wildwood. And that's going to be my movement phase. Into shooting, I'm going to go with the Kurnoth Hunters, shooting at the Kronspine Incarnate. We'll be on 3s and 3s. So that's going to be 4 at rend 1.
Save 1. 3 go through.
2 damage each for 6.
All right.
And then we'll charge with Balthanos. He'll get in with a 3.
Yep.
And that's it for my charge phase.
Yep, and then I'm going to try and make a last-ditch long bong charge with Proxigor, see if they can roll double 6s. That's 1 6. Doesn't
11 is pretty good.
Does it get me there? Oh, that gets me there, yeah. Bring in the reptiles.
And because of that, Balthanos is actually going to try to use his Rhythm of the Chase rampage here. So targeting the Croxador themselves. So on a, looking for a 3 up there, or sorry, a 2 up, but it's a D3, so that's going to do 2 mortal wounds, and I'm going to get to reposition.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to do so, avoiding the Kronspine.
Very intelligent.
And then Balthanos is going to fight first, obviously, and use all-out attack, putting everything into the Croxagor.
Yep, I'm going to all-out defense.
So starting off with the glaive. On 3s, we'll have 4 at rend 3.
So with my all-out defense, I'm on 6s here. I make no 6s.
So that's going to be 12 damage so far.
Okay, you kill 2.
And then the mount for another 9 damage.
Well, there goes my dreams.
All right, that's it for Sylvaneth turn. Now there was a little hiccup thrown in there, a little wrench with the Croxador making a big counter charge.
Yep.
But Balthanos used his rampage to reposition.
And just,
so at least he's wasn't taking hits from the Kronspine, and then was able to, with the extra rend from the Wildwood, able to take out the Croxador, which was very handy. So can't complain about that. And he will again get to heal D3.
Yep.
So he's back to full. And that's about it for me. We set up for the battle tactic and got that, and again, doing what we need to store our points. We'll get 10 here with hold 1, hold 2, hold more.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be putting me to 36 to your 22. And we'll jump into Seraphon, turn 4.
Let's see what we can do. Yeah, okay. Okay, so our battle tactic is going to be do not waver, fight with 2 units and have nothing die. Glaslan is going to start by getting rid of this threat here.
Trying to banish the skull root.
That's the one, yes. That's not going to happen with a 3.
Okay.
All right, that's okay. We have options. We're going to cast Mystical Unforging and reduce the rend of the Gladeworm. So with a 12, that'll go off.
Might as well try to unbind it.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay, Belthanos is still in range, so we're going to drop a rock on his head. We'll cast Comet's Call. 10.
And I tie it, but you get it.
He has no rocks. He nimbly avoids it. So that's all my spells. We're going to draw on Unleash the Power of my Big Angry Temple, trying to go after Belthanos again for 3 wounds. She will heal. And then the big one, so on a 4-up, the Slann is going to call for reinforcements and bring back something else. With a 5, we will get that. So we're going to bring back the Lancers. All right, we're going into movement phase. All right, so yeah, that's my movement phase.
I will spend a command point here to redeploy with Belthanos again. That's a 2.
I have no shooting.
I will, though, use a command point here and do covering fire with my Kurnoth Hunters. There's 3 of them, which is closest and in range of your Edron Lancers.
Yep. Take 2.
So 4 damage.
Start of the charge phase. We're going to go with a Saurus Guard into the Gladeworm for 6. So they're in there. And then we're going to go with the Incarnate into Belthanos for 7. Moving into combat, we're going to start with the Incarnate into Belthanos.
And Belthanos will use all out defense.
Makes sense? Yep.
The Incarnate deals 3 damage to Belthanos. Then the Gladeworm takes down a Saurus Guard. The Hunters of Huanchi then attack the Skull Root but leave it alive with 1 health. And when it retaliates, it slays the little skinks. Finally, Belthanos fights back into the Incarnate and destroys it.
So yeah, that's everything. So yes, Seraphon, turn 4. Well, you know, I mean, listen, I'm happy to be here, all right? Yeah, so we tried to go for the battle tactic, but unfortunately, for the one time, the tree actually bonked back.
Yeah, it got 1 hit through finally.
Yep, and then rolled the magical 6.
Yeah, 3 damage.
Yep, oh well. That's life. So realistically, I probably wasn't winning this fight anyways, but this probably cemented me as like, there's no way I can.
Yeah, you'll get.
Yeah.
I did hear you drop the tactic. You just hold the 1 point for 2 more points.
Yeah, exactly, and then you'll score another 20 on your turns, and yeah. But,
yeah, so it'll be 30. So 36 at the end of the round to 24. So I'm up more than 10, so you can't potentially come back.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can roll priority for round 5 just to talk it out real quick.
Absolutely, let's do it.
2
That's a 1.
or a 1, and we both roll 1s.
All right, well, yeah.
And you did me first last turn, so I would have choice.
That's true, yeah.
I would just keep the turn order and have some different battle tactic options available to me.
Yep.
So I would either do not waver or seize the center or something.
Yeah.
But as you said, actually you would get to burn an objective here for the first time.
That's true, yes. So I would.
After your last turn.
Yeah, so I would definitely burn the one with all your guys on it.
But again, with the 3 central ones, I'm still gonna be able to get 2 and more.
Yeah.
I hold all those ones, so I would, with that, seize the center or attack on 2 front, or sorry, do not waver. Go in there, kill the Raptidon Chargers again, and
and just
fight with 2 units and get my
absolutely.
10 points on turn 5.
Yep.
So.
And then that's done for me. Yeah.
But you would likely, if nothing else, hold that objective. Don't need to make a play for it.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah.
Final score would be, I think, 46 to 26.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was a good close game at the start, but I think the big thing was when the big turn was actually the bottom of round 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Because my Lancers got into your Lancers.
Yep.
And or your Raptidon Chargers.
The lads. Yeah.
And just crippled them enough, killed 4 of the 6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you also went to my croc. Yeah.
Well, you brought the Croc.
That's right. I brought the Croc to you. I was like,
So,
I got this, guys, and I was so wrong on that route. That's. Listen, the risk I took was calculated. I'm bad at math.
Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, you never know how that's going to go, right?
Yep,
they're fairly tanky, but again, because they charged the anti-charge, yeah, that was almost like perfect storm for the Kurnoth Hunters.
Yeah, exactly.
Showcased why they are a good defensive unit.
Really powerful, yeah.
Actually having something that can go in and doesn't mind getting countercharged at times is not the worst. And then just to talk on it quickly, looking at the new Sylvaneth rules, I mean, it was super impactful to have the extended ranges.
Yeah.
When you set up additional woods with additional bases, like having a 12-inch bubble here, a 9-inch one over here, felt like old Sylvaneth again of actually getting to do stuff.
Yeah, right.
I didn't really use them a ton because of just the way the game went. But also Belthano setting up turning one into a wildwood. Having the Vengeful Scroll route was interesting too, of like, hey, I could potentially move this thing in the movement phase and then teleport off of it. Is actually really, really spicy and interesting. Just didn't come up really in this situation. I was kind of fast enough to get into what I needed to and not really kind of too worried about that and having to like bounce around too much, but having the flexibility was definitely reassuring.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, good game, my friend, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Yeah, thanks for coming, Nils.
Cheers.
Guys, we'll wrap things up there. Hope you enjoyed that battle report, and we definitely had a lot of love to bring Sylvaneth out for this one, so hopefully all our tree friends are happy as well. But guys, thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in another video.